Good morning. It's the appointed time to call to order the January 23rd, 2014 monthly meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. First item of business is to approve the minutes from the December 19th, 2013 Oklahoma City Airport Trust meeting. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. Thank you. Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. For my report this morning, I'd like for Karen to come up and share some pictures for the recently installed sculptures that were installed last Wednesday night. This is the Alan Hauser, two sculptures from Alan Hauser, and it's part of a larger deal that's going on with his exhibits over the state. So, Karen, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. We were very excited this week to have two pieces of bronze sculpture by the artist Alan Hauser delivered to the airport at Will Rogers, and I hope you guys are as excited about it as we are. And there we go. Just in case you're not familiar with the artist, Alan Hauser was born, Alan Capron Houses on a family farm near Lawton, Oklahoma in 1914. And he was Chiricahua Apache, and the Chiricahua Apaches were imprisoned for 27 years down in that area. So Alan Hauser was actually the first Chiricahua Apache born in his family that was born into freedom, and he went on to become known more popularly as Alan Hauser. He was a prolific artist. He produced more than 500 paintings and thousands of drawings and sketches. He produced more than 1,000 sculptures in stone, wood, and bronze, and today examples of his work are located in museums and private collections throughout the world, and fortunately now we have some pieces at Will Rogers World Airport. And by the time of his death in 1994, he was most definitely recognized as one of the most important artists of the 20th century. Pardon me. Earlier, or late fall, I discovered that through the Oklahoma Museums Association and a collaboration of 11 other institutions, museums, they were bringing exhibits to help celebrate the 100th anniversary of Alan Hauser's birth. And we thought, wow, it'd be great to have these, have some pieces represented at Will Rogers World Airport. So we were able to work with the Alan Hauser Inc. in Santa Fe, New Mexico, to bring two pieces to our airport. The first piece is a bronze. They're both bronzes. The first is called Prayer. This is just kind of the process of bringing it in. I kind of wanted to point out we did have some issues with the height of our entry doorways and the height of the sculpture itself. So the Alan Hauser Inc. folks, they actually constructed this cradle to transfer. I mean, this was transported from Santa Fe this way so that it could just go at a 45-degree angle through the front door and then be lifted into place when it reached this location. We used a forklift to take it off the truck, and then it was transferred to two pallet jacks. The only way we could get it into the concourse was through the exit lane of the security checkpoint, so TSA worked with us in facilitating that. A lot of onlookers. And it took all of those burly guys to lift that sculpture up and do it I was holding my breath. It weighs about 1,000 pounds. So here, just kind of getting it ready and in place. And here it is the next day on Thursday morning in the concourse. So it's really beautiful and getting a lot of attention. The second piece is called The Future, and it's similarly the same process, with the forklift onto the pallet jacks. It was a very tight fit through that particular door, but it did fit. And there's the piece. It's a smaller piece, but the detail and beauty of the sculpture is really nice. So that is located in baggage claim by bag claim 4. Actually, you'll see it right when you come down the escalator. And I had to point out the crew because these are Department of Airport employees, and Gary Corvo, Tim Davis, James Smith, Louis Shipman, Joseph Cheeseman. And I think what was really kind of cool about this is they really got engaged in the fact that they were delivering these works of art. And even since then, I've had so many people, not just the visitors, but the employees of the airport, janitorial, concessionaires. I mean, they're just very appreciative to have this. So anyway, I hope you all enjoy it.
Thanks, Karen.
What's the possibility? I noticed on here it says December 2014. What's the possibility of getting it to stay longer?
We can work with that. I don't know what would be involved, but
Well, I suppose one option would be to purchase it, but the other, I don't know. You know, I've talked to the curator about either lengthening the stay. It is on loan to us. Both pieces are on loan to us for 1 year, either to extend the loan, or perhaps maybe they would loan us different pieces. So those are some things that we've just broadly talked about, but right now he's got a lot of there are 11 exhibitions in Oklahoma alone, so we'll continue that discussion.
All in favor of Mayor Humphreys buying it, say aye.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I do.
What do you think it's worth? What do you think those are worth?
One piece is worth $250,000, and Prayer, the smaller piece, is $225,000.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, so that's easy for you.
I do want to point out that in the permit that we do have a 1-year option, so I think we can extend it a year if we want to.
Well, I think it will be more in the lender's
Option?
option.
Okay.
So hopefully we can extend it, though.
Okay, thanks. Moving on, Mr. Chairman, to item 4, if that's okay. Will Rogers World Airport will to approve the certificate of substantial completion with Libra Electric Company for the 2012 medium voltage electrical upgrades project at Mike Monroney, and we're accepting that project. Item B is to approve change order number 8 with Downey Contracting. This is for another Mike Monroney project on the Flight Standards Building, adding 53 days for weather and deducting $850.56. Item C is approving the request for proposals for the management of the Consolidated Railcar Facility Shuttle Bus Operations and Maintenance for Oklahoma City Trust, authorizing proposals to be received on March the 4th. Item D is approving the request for bids for the high-speed runway blowers and carrier vehicles, advertisement for bids to be opened on April 1st. Item E is approving the performance bond related to DACO fire equipment and the fire pumper vehicle we awarded the contract on last month. Item F is approving the contract for professional services with Frankfurt Short Bruza Associates. This is for the project to achieve 100% power generation capability for the terminal building and the pedestrian tunnel, $506,182. Item G is approving the contract for professional services with MacArthur Associated Consultants. This is to replace taxiway C and G with concrete. Design is $545,771.17. This will be an FAA project. We'll apply for 90% funding from the FAA. Item H is approving the contract for services with LWPB PC. This is for the multi-bay maintenance facility addition project, $318,249.32. Item I is approving the plans and project manual for the Hangar 1 interior rehabilitation project, authorizing bids to be received on February 18th. Item J is approving the plans and project manual for water damage to the Sheridan Airport Hotel, bids to be received on February 18th. And item K is approving the plans and project manual for the tunnel water intrusion project for the tunnel, authorizing bids to be received on February 18th. Item L is approving the substantial completion and accepting the project with Wind Construction for the painting of AAR's lease facilities. Item M is approving the substantial completion and accepting the project for the fascia replacement at Hangar 3 with Downey Contracting. Item N is approving addendum number 1 for the Hangar 1 clamshell canopy replacement project, awarding the contract to Downey for $125,000, approving contract and bonds. Item O is concurring with the Consultant Review Committee and authorizing negotiation of an agreement with IP Design Group for the replacement of our existing crash phone system. And item P is adopting the joint resolution between the Trust and the City of Oklahoma City submitting grant applications for this year's FAA Airport Improvement Program grants. Both of those are projects to purchase the snow blowers and the taxiway C&G that I mentioned before. And we'll ratify all of our actions subsequent to the Trust and the City. And that's all items under Will Rogers.
Trustees have heard the items under Will Rogers. What is your desire? We have a motion to move item 4. Second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so done. Wiley Post Airport and Clarence E. Page Airport.
Thank you. Under General Aviation, item A is to approve the contract for professional services with Howard & Associates. This is to do the Phase 1 study to improve the general aviation field maintenance facility for $49,500 at Wiley Post Airport. Item B is approving the contract for services with MKEC Engineering Incorporated to do a drainage improvements project for Wiley Post Airport, $144,750. Item C is approving the contract for services with Garver LLC. This is to do actually design on 2 projects for airfield infrastructure repairs and improvements for $561,430 also at Wiley Post. That's all the items under general aviation.
You've heard the items under general aviation. What is the trustees' desire? We have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so done. Next on our agenda, item 6, general.
Item A is to receive the delinquent accounts receivable report, the construction project status report, and the budget to actual report as of December 31st, 2013. Item B is approving the staff recommendation on the request for proposals for security services received on December 31st and authorized negotiation of a contract with G4S Secure Solutions USA. This is for the supplemental security contract at all 3 airports, Will Rogers, Wiley Post, and Clarence E. Page. Item C is approving the claim of Jamie Blocker for some automobile damage in the amount of $1,015.78. And then the last item is to receive the logo for the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. And we've been working with some time, Karen and other staff, with funnel design on coming up with a logo for the Airport Trust. We think that that's important. The Trust occasionally has a time when it needs to be a distinct its own entity when it's doing certain business negotiations and aspects of running the trust business. And so today we want to bring that logo to you today. We're excited about it. Karen?
Yes, thanks again, Mark. I am pleased to bring the new Oklahoma City Airport Trust logo to the trustees. And as Mark mentioned, the staff has actually been talking about this for quite some time, the need for a logo for the trust. And you know, basically the primary reason is that the trust is a separate and legal entity, and as such it needs its distinct identity for conducting its business. There are also several other trusts, city trusts, that have their own logos at this time. So once we decided that we really did have a need for a logo, we wanted to decide what did we want to accomplish with the logo. So we wanted this logo to represent all 3 airports, and we have 3 pretty diverse airports, but it needed to somehow identify that that's what the trustee manages and operates the airports. We wanted the identity to appropriately express the business stature of the trust. And of course, lastly, we wanted the logo to be memorable. We did task Funnel Design Group, which is the design firm with whom we have a contract at this time. And they kind of focused on the wayfinding icons that people are really used to and see everywhere around the world. And of course, the international recognized symbol for airports is the plane and the blue icon. So this blue icon kind of became the focal point of the development of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust logo. And here we are, the new logo. The typeface in this logo is all original. You won't find it in your Word document drop-down font list, so it's very customized. The words in the center, the block part, the edges have been rounded, so it kind of softens that blockiness of the text. The color blue, it doesn't show very well up on the screen, so hopefully it shows up better on your screen that you're seeing. But obviously that's associated with skies and flying. But it's also, blue is a very calming color, which we always like that when we use that in correspondence and things like that. And lastly, obviously, the airplane nestled in the K and the C. And sometimes it takes people, a couple beats before they recognize that the plane is in there. But then that is the kind of the aha moment. It's like, there's a plane. And that's the kind of thing that you want with a logo, and that's what makes the logo memorable. We did have them proceed a little bit farther because we know with logos you usually need more than one application, or it doesn't work for everything that you want to use it for. So Funnel went ahead and standardized a couple options with this logo. The top logo it's kind of hard to see in 2 dimensions, but actually the clouds and the letters would actually move through the letters. So an application for that might be something on website or in a presentation, something like that. The one on the lower left, sometimes you need to contain it so it doesn't get lost in whatever usage you might want to use it. In fact, I was just talking to John Storms in our planning and development. An application for that might be on our hard hats for our guys that go out into the field. And then you always need a horizontal version for many applications. So they've standardized those different applications. In addition, they've set the standards for colors and sizing and proportion and things like that. And then lastly, this is just to kind of show the versatility of the logo. This probably, I might use this in a brochure or some kind of handout or something like that. But I think one of the things about this logo, it is versatile. It's very strong. There's nothing froofy or way out there, and I think it really reflects the business nature of the trust and what they do on a daily basis.
Thank you very much. Comments?
Okay, you have heard the items under general and the presentation. Thank you, Karen. What is the trustees' desires? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so done. Lease and other agreements.
Under leases, item A is to approve supplement number 4 to the air cargo operating agreement for signatory carriers with FedEx Federal Express Corporation. This is to keep the landing fees the same as they were last year while we negotiate the new agreement. Item B does the same thing with supplement number 6 with American Airlines. And item C is a administrative amendment with the Transportation Security Administration, just changing the name of the authorized representative for our baggage project. That's all under leases.
You've heard the items under leases. We have a motion. A second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it's so done. Under paragraph 8.
Request the approval of the requisitions, please.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please cast your votes. And it is so ordered. All right. Moving right along. Any comments from trustees?
Well, I'll just comment. I flew in last Wednesday night, came down the escalator, and was surprised to see that work of art there. I mean, I noticed it. It stands out. So it's beautiful.
We are seeing people all over looking at that all times of the day. It's just, it's very impressive. And as Karen said, a lot of the airport employees are coming up to her and other airport employees. I mean, we're talking about the tenant employees that are really appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And we've come a long ways because of the Chihuly glass outside of the food court area also is pretty special too. So it's different motives of art, but they're both pretty special.
And we still have the Will Rogers and horse statue in the front of in the ground transportation plaza, and we have the arrows out front. So we hope to bring more art and things like this to the terminal in the future. Thanks, Karen, for doing all that work with the Allen Hauser collection especially.
Any other comments from trustees? Seeing none, any comments from staff? Any comments from citizens? Seeing none, we are adjourned.